Was it smart for the Mets to go all in on Juan Soto?
Yeah, I'm not in love with it, and I do like what Fried for the Yankees. I'm sure Stevie will talk about that. He always likes pitching, and he's a good pitcher. I don't know. Listen, he's got more money than God. He's worth $20 billion, and so if he's lousy or he gets hurt, he'll be able to overcome it, Steve Cohen, and it's not that big a deal financially. But think about it. He spent $765 million on a guy who in 5 years is going to be a DH. He's a terrible he's not a good right fielder. Go look at the World Series in the postseason. He's not a great base runner. Now, he's Ted Williams at the plate. He's a great hitter. He's the best hitter in the sport. No argument. But, again, with him, it doesn't make any difference. He has so much money, the owner.
Yeah.
But, I mean, $765 million, that's an outrageous contract to a guy who, again, in 5 years is going to be your designated hitter. I mean, the Yankees, they may in the long run, maybe it's better that they lose them. They can get a pitcher. They can add money away in different components. They can supplement their team, add more players. I don't think it's the worst thing for the Yankees. And again, the Mets, why would Soto leave the Yankees? I don't understand that.
What do you think, Stephen A., before you jump in? I'm just curious. It was just $5 million more.
Plus, he got a suite at Citi Field. He didn't get a suite at Yankee Stadium. So there's a little perk situation. But
if you were reading into the situation, what do you feel like was the main reason?
Now, a lot of people think he likes the Met owner. I don't buy that at all. The idea that he's got a connection with the Met owner and Steve Cohen and maybe didn't have that connection with Steinbrenner, I don't buy that. That's a bunch of nonsense. I think that's silly. I think the scenario is maybe he wanted to get away from Judge. Maybe he wanted the Nets to be his own team. $5 million is $5 million. He got the average salary at $50 million. The Yankee average salary was $47.5. Who knows? Judge he's never going to tell you, Soto. But Stevie, in the big picture, $765 million to a guy who in 5 years is going to be your designated hitter, that sounds a little outlandish to me. I have to be fair.
Well, I think you're missing the boat here, Doggy, respectfully. The reason why, first of all, Steve Cohen prints money. He ain't worried about it. This don't faze him. This is not somebody that he's trying to find piecemeal things together to get the cash. He has the money. It was a $75 million bonus that he threw in here. So, you got an opt-out after 5 years. Who knows what Juan Soto would do at that particular moment in time. And you're trying to make noise. This is a huge, huge deal for the New York Mets from the standpoint of they were in the NLCS. They were highly entertaining and highly competitive throughout that series against the Brewers and, of course, the Dodgers that they lost in 6 games. I was very impressed with what I saw from the Mets. They looked like the cardiac kids. Even you raved about the attention that they were drawing because of how they played the brand of baseball. So what do you go out and do? Not only do you go all in, but you hurt the Yankees. In your eyes anyway, because what you did was you had a star that said instead of going to the Bronx with the most storied franchise in baseball annals, we're going to go to the New York Mets, who haven't won a World Series since 1986. That's what we're going to do. We want to take your guy. So it's not like they accepted, the stuff that the Yankees threw out. No, they took a star from the New York Yankees and outbid them to do it. And if Soto did it, who's going to do it in the future? That's what you have to take into consideration. Now, am I completely depressed about this? No. Would I have liked to have seen Juan Soto stay with the Yankees? Yes. But I like Max Fried. You know how I harp on pitching. Pitching wins championships. And I don't care what bat you have. Here's the reality. A pitcher can go into a playoff series, Doggy, and potentially win 3 games for you.
Yeah, he can control the series. Yes, he can.
One hitter can't even win you a game because they need help. And so where's the proof? Juan Soto is out there balling. Like you said, he's Ted Williams at the plate. Who isn't? Aaron Judge in the playoffs. 58 home runs during the regular season, over 100 RBIs during the regular season. But come playoff time, you have to have an APB out for him. And it's not just this postseason. It's been several postseasons. If George Steinbrenner were alive, what would George Steinbrenner be saying about Aaron Judge? He would talk about him like he talked about Dave Winfield. And so we have to consider all of that and think for a second about what role that played in Juan Soto. I've heard that Juan Soto, wasn't really feeling Aaron Judge. I don't know the particulars. I don't cover the team. But that's what I heard from people in the Dominican community that I know personally. But here's the deal. If you are Juan Soto and you're going up against the Dodgers, and you saw Mookie Betts play the way that he played, okay, along with others, and you watch Aaron Judge come up so small in the heat of that competition, is that what you want to stick with for years to come? You want a dog with you. You want a guy that you can trust to be in the foxhole with you and is going to be out there doing what they're supposed to do. We can look at the rest of the Yankees, but if Aaron Judge had had a better series, we're talking about them winning game 1, and we're likely talking about that being a 7-game series if Aaron Judge had showed up. And if you're Juan Soto, you got to think about that. And you got to think about your future, and you got to say, wait a minute now, who do I trust? Lindor, you saw how Lindor performed? You saw how these other cats performed on the New York Mets? That's what I'm looking at, and I think that played a role in Juan Soto deciding to go to the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the fact he wanted to get away from Judge's shadow. I do agree that, Cohen here brings Soto in. It puts the Mets on a different stage. Mm-hmm. They stole a player from the Yankees. They outbid him. So I think that's important to a Met fan. I don't disagree 100%. And the good thing from a Met fan perspective, if Soto, something happens to him or doesn't play well, $765 million to Cohen means absolutely nothing. He's got more money than God, this guy. No, he doesn't mean anything. So from that standpoint, it's not going to prevent you from doing something else. Yeah. But if I'm Soto, I'm going to go into the National League where I got the Braves, Phillies, and Dodgers. The American League's terrible. I'm going to do that. I got Judge hitting behind me in the regular season. I get all those pitches to hit. I got Yankee Stadium. I got the bleacher creatures. I'm surprised he left. I have to be honest with you.
I feel you on that, Dougie. But you know what? Think about him. Think about that at bat he had against the Guardians when it was a strike here, it was a strike there, and he's looking, and he kept fouling it off, and he's looking at the pitcher, talking to him, come with that again, and then smacked it out of there. See, this is the kind of moments you can't buy that stuff. And then you look at a Freddie Freeman and a Mookie Betts and the way these cats have been playing, and were playing throughout the postseason, and especially in the World Series. Yeah. What do I need to do to beat that? I got to be with a couple of cats that are made of that ilk. He saw that with the Mets. He didn't see that with the Yankees. So you think we don't want to say it.
You think Judge's non-performance in postseason influenced Soto to leave, is what you're telling me?
Yes. He said that.
I do.
Wow. Yeah. That's a strong statement.
I do.
That's a strong point. Yeah. That's a strong statement.
Maybe you guys could talk about it on Mad Dog Radio after the show. But I need to go to
Molly, it's not. Yeah. It's not his strong performance, the weak performance, just this, but I'm talking about his career.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome to John Crowder's show. Thanks for tuning in. I'm back again with another sports show, joining you live from a spot here in the Battery, Atlanta, Georgia. If you ever get time, come check us out. Want to make sure you understand that if you want to see some of the most up-to-date clips, shows, Stephen A. Smith, First Take, Pat McAfee, go ahead and tune in. Every day we're dropping clips and even live shows. So take the time to go ahead, like, subscribe, and even share this content. We're going to be pushing out a lot of content to you free. And also we're going to be giving away live tickets to sporting events. And we'll be live on set at the NCAA Championship, the Final Four. And also we'll be live at the Super Bowl this year. So if you want to win free tickets, make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned. Put the alert bell on. We're going to keep you up to date with NFL, MLB, soccer, baseball, hockey, all sports, and even giving you free picks on parlays that we hit very often. So go ahead and stay locked in, because if you blink, you'll miss it. Again, I'm John Crowder, and thanks for tuning in. What are some of the most iconic sports for you as far as moments? One of the most iconic sports moments for me was definitely when the Falcons lost the Super Bowl. Even though I'm a Falcons fan, it was heartbreaking, but it was definitely memorable. So that was one of the most memorable, ugliest moments for me as a sports fan. Go ahead and drop in the chat what your most memorable moment in sports was, and we'll be sure to comment and respond to that. One other thing, we definitely want to let you know that we do have sports picks, and we will be putting them in the chat. Our sports picks come with a lot of knowledge, a lot of historical data, and just a lot of professionalism. So if you want to start hitting some of those bets, make sure you follow our picks, and we'd definitely like to help you out on that. All right, this channel is completely free. We don't have any sponsors. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share this to get more content like this and to help us put out more content. Again, I'm John Crowder, and I'm joining you live from the Battery in Atlanta. Stay tuned for more episodes, more shows, and more content.